Welcome back to Lucore Automotive Services. Today we're going to talk about a little repair I did on a customer's vehicle. It's not exactly a professional repair, but it gets this thing back up and running so that it's still a useful piece of equipment, I guess you could call it. This thing's pretty much worse for the wear. Lord only knows how many miles are on it. The floors are starting to fall out of it. Extra air conditioning there. Manual transmission. Base gauges. I think this has air. Little F150 custom. Old inline 6. And I actually have an affinity for these old inlines. This one is fuel injected, which is nice. Looks like we have something leaking over here. I'm gonna have to figure out what that is. It's probably a fuel line, knowing my luck. Hopefully it's just water. Brake fluid. That figures. It's always something. So that'll be the next on the list. But this truck came to us. It was completely inop, no power. Customer tried replacing the ignition switch to no avail. You roll the key over, nothing happens. You can power stuff up in other places. And it ended up being one wire. That's right, one wire under the dash in the worst possible place it could be. So these old Fords have this really unique little pass-through system. It's this round thing there with a bunch of wires going through it. It's bulkhead pass-through. And water gets down in there and causes a high resistance. Then you end up with a wire that looks like this. And it separates, and this is the main power into the ignition switch. Now, a wiring harness for this is not available. On top of that, rewiring one of these trucks is, I mean, it's a pretty basic truck, so it's not that bad, but it's still a bunch of time, a bunch of money to do that. And at the end of the day, how many dollars are you going to put into an old, found on road dead vehicle that's 30-some odd years old and beat up? But if you still have use for this thing, which a lot of people do, especially with all the vehicles we've lost in the last couple of years due to hurricanes and storms and tornadoes, fires, like, it's been bad. So keeping anything we can on the road right now I think is a good idea. So I took a couple hours a day and I dug into the system. I found the broken wire, the mystery wire, and I ended up drilling a hole in the bulkhead, put a rubber grommet in it, ran a wire through it, and just bypassed the bulkhead connector to create a repair. It's not something I would want to do if I could help it, but in this case it's the fastest and easiest way to get this vehicle back on the road so that it's at least useful. Of course now we have to do a brake line too, but it is what it is. That's what happens on old cars. There's always another thing to fix. But you can see the wire was cooked. It was actually burned completely off inside the cabin. So this wire right here is down and into the very center bottom. And once I found it, I'm like, well, maybe it's just one wire. Let's run a bypass and see what happens. So I bypassed it, ran it through the bulkhead with a grommet, and lo and behold, runs like a champ. The fuel gauge even works. That's a win. And the oil gauge works. I guess the amp gauge isn't working. It's got some wiring problems, you know. Typical old car. Oh, well, it does have a battery light on. I wonder if the alternator's charging. I'll have to check that next. Looks like the belt's shrinking. Got bigger problems. Those aren't for me to worry about right now. We're going to let the customer know his truck's running again, and he can choose to do with it from there what he wants to do. You know, one of those things, you got an old vehicle and you think it's dead, might be worth saving. Might be an hour of your time and a piece of wire and a couple connectors. You never know what the little thing is going to be that takes a piece of equipment out of commission. This one's not dead yet.
All right, folks, I'm going to add a little bit of editorial here to the end of this video before we wrap this up. First off, thanks, Kerry, for letting us work on your truck, and you're welcome. Glad you can get it back. Obviously, the truck is fixed and back in action. Ended up blowing a passenger's front brake hose. Those are ancient, or were ancient, when we got the truck up and running. It made it all the way from the back of the building to that parking spot. And then as soon as you broke, pop that hose. He had actually already replaced the hard lines and the brake hard lines on that truck. However, the soft lines were no longer soft and popped as soon as we got the truck up and running. That vehicle actually hadn't moved in well over a year, so unfortunately that's kind of one of those things. Now, that repair is not what we would ideally do as far as a repair goes, and it is a little bit outside of the normal professional repair. But a lot of times when you're in the hot rod industry or you're working on older classic vehicles, you do what you got to do to get them back up and running. You don't want to leave them sitting rotting. It doesn't do anything for anybody. Whatever you got to do, get it done. There was no wiring harness available for that thing, so obviously we would love to have put a brand new wiring harness in it, but A, it's not available. B, it would have been massively expensive to fix a very simple issue. Once you've troubleshooted the issue and you know what the issue is, just run the wire and get it done, and that's, you know, what you need to do. Kind of the hot rod way of life. Unfortunately, that truck, as much as Kerry loves it, it's not really worth a ton of money. So even if a $800 wiring harness was available for it, it wouldn't have made sense to do that anyway. So repair is done, everything is done, everything is ready to go, and it made it all the way back. Interestingly, I actually delivered that vehicle to Kerry from here in Lucore Automotive, which is kind of a, you know, white glove service kind of thing to do. And as soon as I pulled into the parking lot, Kerry asked, how much fuel is in that thing? And I was like, oh, it's got 3/4 tank of gas. And you'll notice in the video that Rich even mentions, it's got 3/4 tank of gas in it. No, it didn't. Kerry took it directly from the driveway when I dropped it off to the gas station, put 16 gallons worth of gas in it, in a tank that he had previously thought was a 14-gallon tank. So I got there on hopes and prayers, but I did get there. And that's kind of just part of the service that we do here. We are a small town shop outside of Columbus in central Ohio. We work on a lot of cool stuff, whether it's, you know, old school hot rods and race cars and that kind of stuff, or classic cars, normal daily drivers, you name it, we do it. Diesel trucks, we work on everything. So if you are somebody that's in our area and you're interested in having your vehicle worked on, reach out to us. Let us know what we can do for you. Bring it by, see us, and we'll see what we can do for you. We've got a lot of different things that we work on in this channel. If you're interested in seeing a general repair facility, that's always the joke here, is we're a general repair facility. Generally, we work on everything. If you're interested in that kind of content and you want to see what a real actual mechanic shop works on, that also works on a lot of cool stuff, click on the subscribe button. It'd be great to have you here. If you made it this far into the video, click on the like button. We do truly appreciate you. And we'll see you on the next one. Have absolutely no idea what that'll be, but we'll bring it to you here shortly. We do our videos every single week, Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. Hope to see you again. Take care. Bye-bye.